So today I'm going to do the fall of man. That's kind of a sad story. You know, in life it's like you see everything's going good, going smooth, and then there's a cliff. It goes, you know. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. So they both made this bad decision together. How often do you in your life make a bad decision with somebody else? You know, how often in my life have I done that? Several times. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, Where are you? You know when you're a kid and you're being naughty and your parents go, Where are you? Kids are being too quiet. They're getting into trouble. My kids do. So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? Hands in the cookie jar. Then the man said, The woman who you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. Like he could have said, No, bad idea. But how often do we blame somebody else? Well, he did it, so I thought it was a good idea. I've done that in my life, made wrong decisions, but most of them were for the right reasons, so anyway. And the Lord God said to the woman, What is this you have done? The woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. So the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. To the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Just a kind of a funny joke that I have is, people go, Oh, God's a woman. No woman would want another woman to have more pain in childbirth. We know how that is. So, anyway, to the woman he said, Oh, I already read that, excuse me. Then to Adam he said, Because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. All the days of your life. Okay? And how many men hate their job? So, both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground. For out of it you are taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And that's why we die. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Also for Adam and his wife, the Lord God made tunics of skin and clothed them. God was the first one to make a sacrifice. You know, I never really thought of it that way, but when you read it, he was the first one to make a sacrifice. Then the Lord God said, Behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil, and now lest he put out his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. You know, now, I was reading something about in the Hebrew, how when it says, when you take it, you shall eat and then die, there was die. And that is two different versions of death. A physical death and a spiritual death. Okay? The spiritual death happened first. When he said, when you eat of it, you shall die. Okay? What happened first? He didn't die. Okay? There was a spiritual death that happened. And then the eventual physical death. So our beautiful skin is so drooping and just look blue. So, therefore the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, a flaming sword, which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. I had a dream one time that it was like Armageddon, and me and some friends, we had like these awesome like black wings, and we had these flaming swords, and we were going after like all the people that like molested children and did just horrible things. It was just one of those really cool dreams. Just the fact of the flaming sword just reminded me of that. So anyway, but yeah, so that is that story, the fall of man, and now this is the point of where we're living right now. This is the paradigm in what we're living right now. So that just kind of explains a lot. So, and it doesn't get better, it gets worse, and then it will eventually get better. It will, because we got to read the whole book to find out what happens. But, you know, I'll read some more tomorrow, and we'll see what happens next. So, stay tuned. Alright, I love all you YouTubers and Facebookers out there. No matter what's going on in your life today, whether it be something totally awesome happening, which I hope it is, or something totally not awesome happening. Okay? You're always in my prayers. You know, I hope I'm in yours. Just, you know, it is what it is. You know, so anyway, y'all have a good one. Mwah. Love you all. Bye-bye.